The video you're about to see is for historical purposes only. It is an almost daily snippet of 1010 Wins broadcast in New York City and the New York City Metropolitan area. On my morning commute, I listened to this news broadcast and decided to share a snippet of the news for historical purposes. The mission is to record history.
INS, WINS FM and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
We're looking at a variably cloudy day today. A shower or thunderstorm possible from the midday through this evening. Any thunderstorm could be gusty and even contain some hail. Today's high 73, 59 now, partly sunny. The humidity is 67% and the winds are northwest at 10. More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Sharon Barnes-Waters is our service aide. Justin Schrager is the editor. I'm Susan Richard.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York. 59 degrees, partly sunny skies at 8 o'clock. Good morning. It's Friday, July 9th, June 9th, not July, yes. We'll get there. I'm Lane Bajardi, and here's what's happening. Former President Donald Trump under federal indictment. Will run down what we know about the charges and reaction. Could be a little easier to breathe around here today, though an air quality alert technically remains in effect. The latest from AccuWeather ahead. President Biden responds to House Republicans probing an unfounded allegation of bribery against him. A man suspected in the death of Natalie Holloway appears in a U.S. courtroom today. The lawyers who use ChatGPT to write their error-filled briefs appear in the Manhattan federal court to face the judge. Sports, the Mets get walked off and swept in Atlanta. The Yankees split a doubleheader. Panthers win Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. We start off with a bit of sun, scattered pockets of smoke and haze. Nothing like the other day, though. Turning out mainly cloudy with some rain around at a high of 73. Wins News Time 8:01. Traffic and transit with Karen Stewart.
All right, taking a check of what we see on Long Island's Big Three. We're in really good shape. We've got some westbound LIE slight volume into exit 39 for Glen Cove Road. The Northern State is perfect. And we've got some eastbound Southern State traffic getting out into exit 28 and out into the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. Light to moderate there. But we're doing well westbound at the Northern State, the Southern State. And again, that westbound LIE just around 39 is busy. Now, we've got eastbound LIE delays getting out into the Douglaston Parkway from back at Main Street on the LIE eastbound. And westbound, we've got delays from the Van Wyck out into Woodhaven Boulevard with a short delay from 48th Street out into the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway. The BQE on the westbound side is busy from 48th Street to the Kosciuszko Bridge. And then again from McGinnis-Humboldt Street down into Atlantic Avenue, we've got some moderate traffic through that stretch. The inbound Gowanus, though, to the BQE eastbound is packed from the, before 39th Street, from around 53rd, 52nd Street up into the area right around Atlantic Avenue. It's really jam-packed, and we look good inbound at the Hudson River crossings. No more than 15 minutes maximum inbound over the Holland Lincoln and the GW Bridge. Alternate side is suspended. The meter will apply. We're sponsored by Autorama at 42 West 18th Street. Autorama, the photo community's favorite choice for content creators with in-store events and daily deals on gear and accessories. Mention our radio ad, get $20 off a $100 purchase in store. Autorama, 42 West 18th Street, New York City. Online at Autorama.com. I'm Karen Stewart. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Donald Trump's lawyers say a federal grand jury has indicted the former president on charges related to his handling of classified documents. They include conspiracy and obstruction. The indictment stems from the investigation of special counsel Jack Smith, but the details are only coming from Trump's team because the Justice Department cannot release details of an indictment until a judge grants an order to unseal them. That could come next week when Trump appears in Miami federal court.
We have been told by sources who have been following the case that Trump is expected to appear on Tuesday to be processed in connection with these charges. And we've been told by multiple sources that the special counsel has specifically been focusing on efforts to illegally retain classified documents and producing evidence to show that Trump also willfully obstructed the government's efforts to get those documents back.
Correspondent Pierre Thomas reports say the indictment includes 7 criminal counts, including charges under the Espionage Act. The former president posted a video on social media calling it a dark day for the United States.
It's election interference at the highest level. There's never been anything like what's happened. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person.
Republicans rallying around Trump. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis calling the prosecution the weaponization of law enforcement that represents a mortal threat to a free society. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy calling it a grave injustice, pledging that House Republicans will, quote, hold the brazen weaponization of power accountable. Democrats say it shows that no American is above the rule of law under the Constitution. More on the indictment now from 1010 Wins newsman Glenn Schuck in Midtown this morning.
Trump attorney Jim Trusty going on CNN last night to call the espionage charge in particular ludicrous, as the former president took to his Truth Social platform to declare his innocence. Attorney Robert Gottlieb spoke with 1010 Wins.
We all have seen and we have heard what Donald Trump, in fact, has already admitted doing. He has already admitted having these documents. He's already admitted saying that those documents were in his possession.
And despite his legal troubles, Trump clearly has a base of support around the country. And I asked David what his message is to those supporters.
They're just as ignorant as he is.
Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM at Trump Tower.
Wins News Time 8:05. Now to the unprecedented air quality issues we've been dealing with this week with AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore. Dean, looking better out there.
It is looking and feeling better, Lane. I'm still monitoring the numbers right now, and all of the readings around the city and near suburbs are in the green or yellow zone, which is good or moderate air quality issues. Still some oranges for unhealthy for sensitive groups as you go down the Jersey Shore and out on eastern Long Island. But again, this fresher air is continuing to come in here over the next couple of days. We'll see some showers and some thunder, which will alleviate some of our concerns that have been mounting over the last couple of weeks of local wildfires, adding to this mess. And that will come in this afternoon, this evening, maybe a shower tomorrow, then a nice day Sunday. I'll detail that in about 7 minutes on New York's weather station, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Meanwhile, the city's response to the air quality crisis this week has become a point of contention. City Council member Lincoln Ressler of Brooklyn says the lack of public health guidance from the Adams administration was disturbing and disappointing.
There were days of warnings about the impacts of the Canadian wildfires on the air quality in New York City, and yet there was practically no communication from the mayor and his team.
Ressler says while wildfire smoke emergencies may be new to the city, other states have been dealing with this for years, and the mayor should have followed their established playbooks. Just as cooling centers are established on very hot days, Ressler says the city should have set up clean air centers at libraries, senior centers, and NYCHA community rooms. The mayor rejected this criticism.
So if someone wants to be built into, you didn't figure out every type of climate catastrophe, hey, the meteor fell to the planet Earth, y'all didn't have a plan for that? We're not living that way.
Officials are keeping an eye on air quality monitors ahead of the scheduled running of the Belmont Stakes tomorrow.
For the first time ever for most people, we are constantly checking the air quality in our area. And those numbers will determine if the Belmont Stakes even happens on Saturday. Here is Governor Hochul.
If the air quality exceeds 200 at the facility, at any facility, there will be no racing. If the air quality is 150 to 200, only horses that pass an additional pre-race vet examination will be permitted to race.
The Nassau County executive says he believes the race will go on as planned. Hochul says the decision to cancel the race will be a last-minute decision, and she wanted to warn people ahead of time in case the race does not happen. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Nassau County, Long Island.
Ahead of what appeared to be the imminent indictment of Donald Trump yesterday, House Republicans were taking aim at President Biden. The House Oversight and Accountability Committee reviewed an FBI document that outlined unverified allegations from a confidential source that Biden was involved in a $5 million bribery scheme. A New York Post reporter shouted a question about this following the president's news conference with the British Prime Minister.
It says there's standing evidence in the FBI file that you sold out the country. Do you have a response to congressional Republicans?
Where's the money? I'm joking.
Mr. President,
a bunch of malarkey.
The claim was dismissed as unfounded by the Justice Department under Trump-appointed Attorney General Bill Barr in 2020. The original point of the event was to show a united front of the U.S. and UK behind Ukraine.
Speaking alongside the visiting British Prime Minister, President Biden doubled down on the Western commitment to help Ukraine in the face of Russia's invasion.
Picture what would happen if we were not supporting Ukraine. Do we think Russia would stop in Kyiv? Do you think that's all there would be happening? I think not, and I think the vast majority of my colleagues, even the critics, think that would not be the case as well.
Mr. Biden expressed confidence that despite some Republican opposition to the funding levels for Ukraine, Congress will continue to provide it.
Correspondent Tom Foti. Wins News Time 8:09. Joran Vandersloot will be arraigned in an Alabama courtroom today, 18 years after he was linked to the murder of an American teenage girl in Aruba.
Nearly 2 decades ago, Natalie Holloway vanished on her high school graduation trip in Aruba. And the main suspect in the Alabama teen's disappearance, Joran Vandersloot, is on American soil, behind bars in Birmingham. He is facing extortion and wire fraud charges for allegedly demanding $250,000 from Holloway's mother. That sum reportedly in exchange for information leading to the teen's body.
Correspondent Elwin Lopez. The FBI has arrested a businessman at the center of the scandal that led to the impeachment of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Nate Paul is being held on a federal detainer for an undisclosed felony. They were examining his estates and his offices in 2019. The next year, 7 of Paxton's top deputies reported that the Attorney General should be investigated to the FBI. Allegations of bribery and abusing his office to help this man. This has been hanging in Texas for years until the vote to impeach Paxton weeks ago. Wins News Time 8:10. You know how different smartphone manufacturers have lots of different charging plugs? Well, automakers are making moves to ensure that won't happen with electric cars.
Numbering 12,000, Tesla has the nation's largest network of electric car superchargers. But until recently, the only car you could charge at those stations was a Tesla. But drivers of GM cars will soon be able to get a charge out of those Tesla stations. GM CEO Mary Barra announcing that GM will begin the move towards standardizing car charging plugs, which will be compatible with Tesla superchargers starting in 2025. Ahead of that, GM electric drivers will be able to use the Tesla chargers with an adapter as soon as early next year. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Wins News Time 8:11. Traffic in transit with Karen Stewart.
Well, we've got a lot of the normal morning rush hour out there. Well, it's Friday after all, and alternate side is suspended due to the poor air quality. A lot of people are staying home today. I know it sounds like a lot if you're traveling on the inbound Gowanus BQE eastbound combination where nothing is light ever. The inbound Gowanus is jammed from Fort Hamilton Parkway up into Atlantic Avenue. I know. We're the ones that suffer over in Brooklyn all the time. So that's the deal going on there. The Bell Parkway in Brooklyn, though, is in very good shape. And the westbound side of the BQE, although dealing with some slowdowns as you make your way from the 58th Street exit down into the Kosciuszko Bridge, and then some more traffic taking you from Metropolitan Avenue to Atlantic Avenue. Other than that, we're in pretty good condition around town. We've got lighter than normal traffic, although still busy both directions of the Van Wyck Expressway into Atlantic Avenue. The eastbound side of the LIE is very slow getting into the Clearview Expressway from back at Main Street. That is due to construction. We've got 10-minute delays. Yeah, inbound at the Holland Lincoln GW Bridge. We've got Route 17 delays both ways into Passaic Street in Rochelle Park with volume, and we've got 208 delays going eastbound, making your way out into Route 4. We've got slowdowns there. That's volume as well. Traffic this time around is sponsored by Cars for Kids. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Don't waste time trying to get rid of your old or broken car. Cars for Kids is the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Go to carsforkids.org today. That's cars with a K.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast sponsored by Raleigh Motor Company. Here's Dean DeVore.
That early sunshine starting to get closed off by clouds moving in from the north and west. Will be mainly cloudy for the bulk of the afternoon, and some showers and some thunder could pop in here. We're already seeing some early showers very far eastern forks of Long Island and up into eastern Connecticut. Those are moving to the east. We'll see the next batch come in later on this morning into the afternoon from the north and west. Temperatures will get up in the low to mid 70s today, 73 the average high. We'll see that shower thunder thunderstorm could be gusty and a little drenching and contain some hail as we get into the afternoon, early evening. After we dry out later tonight, down to 56. Tomorrow, partly sunny, and there could be a spotty shower. It'd be a bit warmer in the high 78. And then it's dry and nice with some sunshine, low 80s, city and inland, mid 70s at the beaches. Yes, a beach day coming on Sunday. Will turn cloudy and showers move back in on Monday. And I know we need it, so we'll look at that. Temperatures low 70s. 59 right now, going up to 73. The sun back to clouds. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore, New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
This is Juliana Tarian, President and CEO of Raleigh Motor Company. 2023 marks the 65th anniversary of our family of dealerships, including Acura, BMW, Lexus, and Mercedes-Benz. It is an honor to be an integral part of the beautiful Long Island community. Come see the Raleigh difference for yourself at one of our locations in Roslyn, Westbury, and Glen Cove, or online at rally.com.
That's RALLYE.com. The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal.
Hopefully you guys are still with me as I'm listening to the news on my commute to work today. Yes, I am working in Newark, New Jersey today. We're recording these videos to document history. They're not very entertaining, I do know that. But wanted to record our history for future generations.
Let's face it, your company is still feeling the financial effects of the pandemic. And if you own a restaurant, dental practice, or small business that persevered through lockdown, a phone call to Omega Accounting Solutions can be a game changer. Omega Accounting Solutions is an established, respected accounting firm, helping businesses like yours receive the ERC tax credit. Unlike CPAs and others who may not grasp all the complexities of the ERC, Omega's experts are fully trained to understand ERC qualifications and simplify the application process. Learn in less than 10 minutes if you are a good candidate. Call Omega even if you've applied for other pandemic assistance in the past. If your company employed 5 to 500 employees during the COVID crisis and continued to pay payroll taxes, you may be eligible to receive a refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Running a small business is challenging enough. Trust Omega Accounting Solutions to help claim the tax credits you deserve. Call now, 800-704-2000 or online at OmegaTaxCredits.com. The phone number again, 800-704-2000. That's 800-704-2000.
Winds News Time 8:15. A couple of New York lawyers are in trouble after they used ChatGPT to draft their federal court filings. Judge considering sanctions after the attorneys didn't act quickly to correct fake legal citations invented by artificial intelligence bots.
The two lawyers say the artificial intelligence-powered chatbot invented reference to past court cases that they relied on in a filing in Manhattan federal court. They were looking for precedents to support a client's lawsuit against the Columbia airline Avianca for an injury occurred on a flight. ChatGPT suggested several cases they hadn't been able to find. The problem was some weren't real or involved airlines that didn't exist. While the lawyers apologized at a hearing, the judge seemed both baffled and disturbed and is now deciding whether to sanction the pair. I'm Ben Thomas.
Voting rights advocates celebrating a surprise decision from the Supreme Court. A split majority striking down Alabama's congressional map that critics say diluted the power of black voters on purpose. In a 5-4 decision, the court upheld a lower court ruling that found the redistricting map drawn by the Republican state legislature violated the Voting Rights Act because it only drew one district out of 7 that had a majority of black voters. This although more than 1 in 4 people in the state is black.
In his opinion for the court, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote that the Voting Rights Act does not permit a state to provide some voters less opportunity to participate in the political process. In a fierce dissent, Justice Clarence Thomas said the approach Roberts and the liberals endorsed amounted to hijacking the districting process to pursue a goal that has no legitimate claim under our constitutional system, the proportional allocation of political power on the basis of race.
Correspondent Terry Moran. Post-pandemic, it seems everywhere you go these days, someone's asking you to leave a tip. You're in a bodega now, and they flip the screen around and stare at you while you decide whether or not to leave something extra for them. Some say the tipflation trend is getting out of hand now. What's worse is even when you want to leave a tip on those screens, the employees may not be getting the money anyway.
Back when Molly Moons accepted tips, she says the biggest winners were credit card processors.
Because they make more on the credit card processing fees.
And she says the data from the very system that collected the tips showed they led to pay inequities.
Black employees at Molly Moons were making a lot less than white employees.
You can tell
tips.
that?
Absolutely.
Now all employees know exactly how much they'll make.
That's correspondent Carter Evans. Wins News Time 8:18. Top stories next.
Bad credit, no credit, any credit. Hudson Hyundai can always help you get approved. It's easy to apply right over the phone.
Call 800-951-4221. Hudson Hyundai wants to help you drive today with only $68 down. 800-951-4221.
Tier 1 customers can drive a brand new Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, even a new award-winning all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5. Only $68 down. And all new Hyundais come with Hyundai Assurance and America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
Bad credit, no credit? Hudson Hyundai can help you get approved. Choose from 425 vehicles.
Call 800-951-4221. That's 800-951-4221.
Any credit situation, Hudson Hyundai can help you. Call Hudson Hyundai for pre-approval today. 800-951-4221. 800-951-4221. Or HudsonHyundai.com. And it's while minutes of area approval. See for details.
Thank you for making 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM your number one choice for news in New York.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.